Hey YouTube, another great article to be found at newswithviews.com. I'll be reading a truncated version of it. This one is titled The Death of Liberty, The Final Scene Unfolds by Greg Evensen, a former state trooper from Kansas. Today's date, July 29th, 2009. When police investigators begin amassing evidence at a crime scene, the bits and pieces of the puzzle begin to take shape. Usually with several trained men and women working together to come up with an answer, the intent and actions of the perpetrator are almost always revealed. Since my core training and experience over many years was at a state-level enforcement officer, I have worked crime scenes that were large, complex, and conflicting. With enough time, effort, and resolve, we too were able to bring the bad guys to account. You certainly do not have to be a trained state trooper or any other level police agent to use common sense, logic, and knowledge to assess the crime scene that has become the socialist states of America with a K. I continue to be at a loss as to how to explain it is that so many tens of millions of Americans simply do not see the utter destruction of the former republic by socialist one-worlders, deviates, liars, and thieves. The men in black have been roving the country, flashing their memory erasers around the clock. Let's take a check on how things are really going. Our nation's police forces, prior to the criminal thug Richard Nixon, were centered on community policing. Most of their time was spent on looking for, identifying, and monitoring criminals, and responding to unusual or dangerous events that were beyond the control of ordinary folks. We appreciated those officers and were proud to say, "He's our cop." We knew the guy. We could talk to him, kid with him, play adult softball, sit across from church. We watched him shed tears when one of our kids didn't make it home after a night of drinking and driving. We remembered him at Christmas because he didn't make much, you know. I said him because back then there were no women in the ranks. As government began its sickening expansion, policing became a meaner and nastier job. It was made that way by badge-wearing thugs who didn't hesitate to do whatever they were told by the SAC, Special Agent in Charge, of the FBI, BATF, U.S. Marshal's Office, right down to armed poultry inspectors. Yes, they have them, and they are really tough on criminal chickens. The us-against-them mentality and mission-essential attitude justified SWAT teams, dynamic entries, and later use of mace, tasers, flashbang grenades, and routine use of submachine guns, all in the name of taking down the accused, no matter the charge. I abhor such police tactics and was an officer that served my own warrants, rarely with one other officer at the back door. Now we have become eavesdropping, roadblock setting, door crashing, face grinding, arm breaking, pursuit driven that have sold their arses to government masters, hell-bent on establishing the true reincarnation of the dreaded SS. That is no overstatement. Note, there are significant numbers of officers at all levels that simply detest the forced training at FEMA centers, the requirements to stop patriots, and others, simply because they look dangerous and are exercising free speech statements on their vehicles. By whose ultimate authority does this take place? By whose ultimate judgment is it that it is necessary to harass innocent drivers and families? The public sees this Gestapo mentality as far more of a danger than any stickers they put on their vehicles. Where are all these faithful enforcers of the law when it comes to confronting the unlawful, unconstitutional, unjustifiable, and unmerciful rotten bunch of usurpers, communists, atheists, deviant, immoral scrunge buckets that are walking the halls of Congress, the White House, and federal courts? How is it that the get-em-at-any-cost morons at Homeland Security have created an environment in America that is unwarranted intrusion of power in 186 other countries? All of this done in the name of safety and security. I guess the majority of ignorant buffoons really do believe that Barack Soetoro is the Messiah, and he does hold the keys to socialist paradise in his hands. So once again, I implore those officers of the law who are in grave doubt about the legitimate authenticity of their superiors in any agency to simply read the Constitution, reread their oaths of office, seek out retired officers for guidance, and remember this: very carefully. To brutalize citizens in pursuit of order is guaranteed recipe for resistance. Please do not pit yourselves, all 650,000 officers at all levels in the U.S., against a seething and angry populace who outnumber you 5,000 to 1. Believe me, you want all of us working with you, not against you. Have you been made aware of the massive roadblock plans to stop all travelers for vaccine bracelets? These are stainless steel bands with microchip on board. That will force you to take the shot. Refuse it, and you will be placed on a prison bus, taken to a quarantine camp. What will you do when your children are not allowed into school without the shot? What will you do when you're not allowed into the workplace without the vaccine paperwork? Buy groceries, go to the bank, shop anywhere, get on a plane, bus, or train. Use a toilet in the mall. No, police officers will become loathed, feared, despised, and remembered for their official duties. This nation is racing at an interceptor speed toward a day of reckoning that has never been dreamt of. The lack of common sense, unusual brutality, and unintended consequences of the days of fall and winter will turn our overweight, undereducated, unchurched, and unprepared society into a wasteland of abused and uncared for leftovers. The recent training at Crystal Falls gave people from all over the Midwest an opportunity to taste independence, teamwork, and hope. The singleness of purpose and deep caring for others, who an half hour before were unknowns, proved to us that freedom, honesty, personal skills based on common sense and preparation really do work. We will never forget that time together. The caring folks who have asked me to come and speak to them about these same issues are precious examples of Americans who are willing to make an effort to have someone, anyone, help them see daylight. We are beginning to make a difference thanks to them. There is some hope. I encourage all that have taken an oath to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, to please look up an Oath Keepers organization near you and join. And pray for guidance. There has got to be a way to grow this organization amongst law enforcement and ordinary citizens. And I hope that I've done something to help spread this message. The link to the full article, which I of course encourage you to read because this was a truncated version, is in the sidebar. YouTube, have a great day, and God bless you all.